talked at the beginning, at the premiere, you said, "I'm a director," and you sounded surprised.
It wasn't meant to be the movie, really. The story comes from a studio that Nirvana recorded at 20 years ago. It was a total dump, but it had a room a little bit bigger than this room that, for whatever reason, just sounded magical. And a recording console that was custom ordered, one of a kind. There's only one of them in the world, that everyone considered to be one of the best boards in the world. And and that changed my life, because had it not been for that board in that room, I don't know if I would be here right now. I think that the people and the places where albums are made are just as instrumental to the albums as the instruments that are played on the album. So they closed last year, and I offered to buy the board, and I was reunited with this piece of equipment that represents something huge to me, and I thought I'd pay tribute to that just by making a short film. And then I reached out to everyone from Rick Springfield to Neil Young to Rick Rubin to Trent Reznor, and everyone agreed to jump on board because they believed in what we were trying to say, which is, we were trying to show people that the human element and that human connection when musicians play together is where real magic happens. So it just all kind of came together, and I didn't know what a director was supposed to do or what a director does.
Do you know now?
Well, I mean, the other day I was talking to someone about it, like, I'm not really a guitar player, I'm faking it, I never took lessons to do that. I'm not a drummer, I never took lessons to do that. I fucking hold my sticks backwards, I play wrong. So, but it's this, I think the same thing applies to a filmmaker. Why do what you're supposed to do? Or why have someone tell you that that's not really how it's done? Because why would you want to do it like everyone else? And in music, it's the people that don't take lessons and do the wrong thing that become Jimi Hendrix or Keith Moon. And you listen to that and you think, oh my God, you never heard anything like it, because they were never trying to be anyone but themselves. So all I had to do was tell the story of this incredible studio that was really close to me and talk to my heroes about music. It was really easy.
David, can you talk a little bit about how the handcraftedness of movies is something that you think about as you're making? Because you've done studio films, indie films, the sort of gamut. Are you looking to get some kind of that same creativity, that serendipity, that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, as I said, I think it's a very similar process, and it's always trying to tap into something. And every project I always approach kind of, every project's its own unique thing, just like every album is its own unique, or you could even break it down into songs. But movies for me, they're always evolving. I wake up and I've just got a different feeling than I had the day before, and that may be in the middle of a movie, and then I feel like, okay, I'm going to take a left turn here and then try to figure it out just because it feels right. Or I do a lot of improvisation on my movies with the actors, and so I'll talk through, the camera's rolling, and I'll throw an idea at an actor, and he'll run with it while we're rolling. I'm not taking him aside and going through a lot of textbook rehearsals and intellect to it. It's really just like jazz. But with Avalanche, the idea hit me at the Super Bowl, the day after the Super Bowl, and we were sound mixing in July. And it was just a really amazingly, aggressively, energetically, just go get him, let's do it. And we did it short and sweet and quiet, and had a hell of a great time making it. So it becomes its own unique process and product that way. It's very raw and unpolished, and I think a lot of that, you could parallel it to like the garage band approach to making music, that, sometimes if you drop the mic or, you get a little feedback and sound blows out, it becomes the beauty of it. And, this movie's full of lens flares and things like that people really try to iron out a lot of times, or really protect the lighting or make the actors look good or find the perfect close-up. And this was just about, getting out there and seeing what we found. Instead of having a crew of 400 and spending, $4 million a day, we had a crew of 10 in a van, and no one had a trailer, and we had one camera and no lights. And we went out and filmed Paul Rudd and Emile Hirsch running around in a burnt-down forest for 16 days with a 60-page script. And so, you don't know what you're getting into. Everybody surprisingly, everybody enthusiastically jumps on board and works for donuts. And knows that something weird's going to happen, and so why not go for it?
What were the weird things that happened?
I mean, my life is the weirdest thing. I mean, but it really is this. Like, you get guys with a good sense of humor and a great work ethic. Everybody's crazy, so everybody's got their little tempers, their tantrums, and their things buttons that you don't want to push or that you do. And sometimes those can be really effective to tap into, and actually they can be really beautiful, creative devices, and that's why a lot of weirdos are in this room, because we like strange things and we like to create things, and we have minds that work a little less mathematically, or we can translate math into music, or we can, our brains can work in interesting ways, or we can appreciate brains that work in interesting ways. And so by getting those people together of some sort of a unique design, and again, just letting it go and letting everybody bring their ability to the table. I always say that, with movies, there's filmmakers that are shooting for perfection. Stanley Kubrick is a perfectionist. David Fincher, a perfectionist. There's these guys, and some of my favorites and the greatest filmmakers of all time are perfectionists. But I would be terrible at doing anything perfect. So I'm about momentum and jumping right into it. And sometimes that's premature, and sometimes I'm chasing the bus, trying to get it all together before it runs me over. But I'm really about the adrenaline and the uncertainty and the opportunity of the moment, and letting it go crazy. So I'm the momentumist, not the perfectionist.
So you've said that this is the most important thing you've done.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, people think that that's a silly thing to say because of all the bands that I've been in and all the, like, Nirvana and
I've heard of him.
How that affected music. What's that?
I said I've heard of him.
Yeah, we were pretty good. But you make songs and you make music and you do that so that people will think that you're great. And the intention of Sound City was the opposite of that. It was for other people to want to do that themselves. I mean, we wanted to inspire another generation of people to fall in love with music like we did. It wasn't about. It's not even about how many people buy the movie or how many people get a Sound City hat or a T-shirt. It's like I would just like everyone to see it so they can understand what it is when that feeling that musicians get when they play with each other.
One of the things I like about your movie is you definitely have a viewpoint about the sort of analog method of making music, but you're not against digital. There's a place for both. And there's a hopefulness about, I think.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think that it's inspiring what you can do with technology now. I mean, when I was that little punk rock kid, in order for me to get anyone to hear my music, I'd have to go down to the crappy 4-track studio in my friend's basement, record something that didn't sound that great, send it off to a pressing plant. They send back singles. I'd go to Kinko's and I'd make little covers and stuff the sleeves, and then I'd put a stamp on an envelope and I'd send it to someone for $3.50. That process has changed to recording something in your living room with state-of-the-art technology that sounds amazing, and the click of a button is distributed to the entire world, which is awesome. Like, that's anyone can do that. I think that's inspiring. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The story of Sound City and technology. Technology basically has made these wonderful old studios that I consider to be like museums or cathedrals. They've become obsolete. You can simulate or emulate what those studios are capable of in your living room. You might not capture the magic of those places, but so a lot of those studios are going under, and it's one of the reasons why technology is a big part of the Sound City movie, because it ultimately is the biggest reason why Sound City couldn't really survive. But also the conversation of the human element of music. You can use your iPhone and record the busker in the subway and listen to it all day long, and that can change your life. And you can hear the humanity in what he's singing or the emotion in his voice. So the device doesn't really matter. I think it's the content of the artist and where it comes from as a musician. Like, you don't rely on that shit to be a musician. Like, rely on yourself. Use that as an instrument. Use that as a tool, but don't rely on it. That's kind of what we're talking about.